in this bitch. All right, let me tell you, we're here. We're doing the AFC North today, folks. The last of the AFC.
Are we gonna talk some AFC playoffs after this too?
We could do a brief talk, but what I want to do one quick little bit up top, maybe 5 minutes, real short. Some pressing news because there's been some news in the last couple of days. I don't know if you guys.
There's been some news. There's been some news.
Saquon signed a deal.
Turned his back on all of his running back brethren.
Yeah. Hey man,
he didn't even get a deal.
No, the franchise tag was for $10.1 million, and he signed a 1-year, $11 million deal. So
that's laced with incentives for him to get that extra $1 million. He's got to have the best year of his career.
Yeah, and he will. So it's okay.
He will?
I don't know. He's gonna be good. It's gonna be.
I cannot believe that he did that.
Listen, dude. At the end of the day, his options were lose a bunch of money or make $11 million.
Dude, union talk is hot right now. Like we're all getting together with our brothers in arms and returning the power to the working man. And he's just like, nah, how about all incentive based deal for $11 million? Alex?
You want to know what happened? You want to know what happened if the top 15 running backs all held out 1 year? The second guy on that team would run for 1,000 yards.
What's
I'm just trying to say.
What's his name? Who's mystery 1,000-yard rushing back in New York right now? Please.
Tyler in New York. I mean, in New York, who do we have in New York? We got a guy, Matt Breida. Matt Breida's out there. You got
Matt Burrito is gonna rush for 1,000.
He's not the number 2 guy. We're not looking at the depth charts. Pull it up.
Yes, he is. He's absolutely the number 2.
Oh.
The number 3 is Eric Gray, a rookie.
Wow.
All I'm trying to say is Matt Breida is going to run for 800, and
you know what?
They'll go sign some other bum.
They brought in James Robinson if he's got anything left, but he's currently tied for 5th. No, this is news.
This is full on the rails. We're talking about the state of the running back.
I've heard Matt Burrito 4 times. There's no way
wearing a running back jersey. Come on now.
Let's go. Anyway, Saquon Barkley absolutely turned his back on his brothers, and
I don't blame him. Make the money, go out there and prove it.
But he didn't.
He could. Well, this is the last year of his rookie contract, isn't it? So they paid him $11 million. He's going to go out there, and then he can go be a free agent. Somebody will pay that man.
Yeah,
they will. Somebody will pay him. If he has a good year this year, somebody will pay him. Because if he has a great year this year, that's 4 years out of 5. That means he could do it for another 3 years, just like Eckler, just like McCaffrey. Somebody will give him a bag. He'll be fine. Just got to go out there and perform. I get it. It sucks to be a running back in the NFL. This is the state of position. It's not a difficult position to learn.
I think it needs to change.
I do too. I love running backs. Running backs are fun. They're a great position. Like
the rookie contract, as far as it would have been hard to convince me this before, but stipulating that by position, like certain rookie contracts can be so long based on the position, I think is something that needs to be negotiated in the CBA, because the current CBA, which was, hey, we can't keep giving money to all these rookies, especially like quarterbacks that we're holding out for big money, a la Sam Bradford. That new thing is like, all right, well, they're all getting the same based on where they're drafted. Why would you ever pay a running back again if their career is only 4 years long? You get 4 years out of a rookie deal.
It's true. I mean, there's a little bit of supply and demand. It is tough to make the argument for running backs getting paid, especially the year after the tumultuous running back season we had last year. You know what I mean? Like, there's just such a higher risk to them.
The top 5 running backs, the top 5 finishers at running back every year are difference makers. Like, they make a difference on their team. They deserve to be paid.
I think their rookie deal should be 2 years max.
I say 3.
I say
3 years.
I say 2.
I say 3 years, and you should have it be position based in terms of like there should be different. If your career is only going to be 4 or 5 years on average, then you should get paid more if you're a skill position player. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, look at who demands. Like, look at how many tickets and jerseys a guy like Saquon sells.
Yep.
Look at how many tickets or jerseys a good second-year tackle sells.
Mm-hmm.
And pay the man equitably. Like, it shouldn't be hard. They have a lot of money. They could hire some accountants. They could figure it out. You know,
Well,
It's
like
not
you're
hard.
watching these running backs fight for $11 million on a deal when you got Justin Herbert signing a 5-year, $262 million with potentially
He's worth it.
$210 million of it guaranteed.
Worth it.
Well, I'm not saying he's not, but the two of them side by side is
yeah, it's true. Those are different stories.
And also entirely different game and not relevant for the sport. But like a guy who's not playing to get CTE, Jalen Brown, is going to make $350 fucking million in 5 years.
Yeah,
350 mil.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's more than Patty Mahomes.
Well, the NFL has the worst like association of all the sports. So I don't know what that's about. Maybe it's just because all of their former players have brain injuries, and so they can't just like really like pull off like a really collective effort to be represented equally. But it's not good.
I don't know what it is, but it's like the two most brutal sports: the UFC and the NFL. Right?
Mhm.
They have the worst unions of all of them.
Interesting.
Yeah, even hockey's better. Think about all the hockey holdouts and strikes that they've had over the years. Like they've had plenty. So is the MLB. You know, NBA has too. But anyway, that's Saquon. We talked about Justin Herbert. I want to say there was your boy Trevon Diggs got the bag today. I think he got 90. I think he got 90 mil, man. Then he get
97 on 5 years.
This is news. This is news to me. What happened with Trevon Diggs? Yeah.
He signed $97 million 5-year contract.
Hey, how about him?
$20 million a year, getting twice what Saquon's getting.
Man, I gotta get that number 7 jersey now. Like he's gonna hang around. I love that.
He's gonna be there for a minute.
I should have had one anyway.
You gonna get a real one or one that has a logo on it?
Listen, man, whatever it takes.
Now here's the question. Are they gonna pay Zach Martin now? Because Zach Martin's sitting out there looking at that, being like, "Oh, that guy got cut a check. Where am I? Where am I at?"
They're not going to pay him that much.
Oh, they're going to pay him that. They should pay him. He's the best guard in the league.
He's the first 99 on Madden since 2003 at the position.
Yeah, we paying people based on Madden.
Yeah, we are now.
It's him.
For the sake of this argument, yep.
It's him or Brandon Sheriff, right? Best guards in the league. Yeah. Brandon Sheriff. It's him or those two. Top two to me. I mean, there might be, the guy for the Packers is good, but he gets hurt a lot. There's a few other guys out there too, but like those are the two most recognizable to me. Quentin Nelson used to be there, but he had a shit year last year.
He fell off.
Yeah, he got old. I mean, maybe he'll be better this year. We'll see. I don't know.
Eventually, Zach Martin's going to get old too. How old is Zach Martin today?
Don't know.
He's already a 5-time Pro Bowler, so he's already been around for a little bit.
32.
Yeah, he's 32. How much money are you paying a 32-year-old offensive lineman?
15 mil.
Yeah.
For that guy of his caliber, 15 mil.
I mean, he's amazing. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not a Cowboys fan who's over here going to argue against the worth of Zach Martin, but like
he's 32 short, but he's
a hard
arguably the best he's been. I mean, he's still on the top of his game.
Can't sign something more than 3 years though, right?
No, definitely not.
Do you think he's going to sign anything less than 5 years? Because he's the last one, right? Because it's the last one.
That depends on the personality, right?
Yeah, it does, and I don't know the man, so I don't know.
Take 3 years at 50 mil. That's what I say.
Mm-hmm.
What was his last contract?
I don't know. You're the balance sheet. Get on it, boy.
I mean, he was just prompting himself.
So I didn't know we were going to bring up Zach Martin in the AFC North episode. I wasn't.
Come on, man.
We haven't spoken about an AFC team yet. This is great.
Listen, you're telling me you don't have every contract at just a click of a button for me?
I mean, I tell you Zach Martin now.
All right, let's go.
It was a 4-year, $9 million contract.
9?
That's what it says.
No, not 9
total.
No,
or maybe that was his rookie one. That's the first one that pulled up. Maybe that was his starting one.
Oh, that's wild.
Because he wasn't getting. He wasn't playing for 2.5. Right? Yeah.
That's kicker money. What are we doing?
Yeah, he's
been making about he started off making I think 22 mil, and then it's averaged about 10 or 11 a year since.
10 or 11 a year since. Okay.
So pay him 13 mil. Pay him 39. No, pay him 35 mil, guarantee some of it, give him some incentives, put him on contract for 3 years. Let's go.
Guarantee all of it. Just do it.
I mean, it's a tough position to be in if he gets hurt right away. But anyway,
What other news we got?
I mean, I think that's it. Other than there was a man named Kadarius Toney that
Why are you cheering on injuries?
knee
Are
surgery.
you like a closet Eagles fan?
I'm not cheering on any injuries. I'm just vindicated.
You're
I'm
not
so
vindicated because
vindicated.
no.
I'm absolutely. He returned one non-contact punt and he tore his meniscus. The man's a glass cannon if there ever was one. I don't even know if you can call him a cannon. I think he's just a glass bull. You knock on him once and
I
he
mean,
breaks.
it'll keep him from being drafted in our league. Well, it should keep him from getting drafted in our league.
It should. He shouldn't be drafted. He just tore his meniscus.
What
and had
round does
surgery.
Dave take Kadarius Toney?
9.
If he's taken before the 10th round,
Sixth round.
You should all be taking Sky Moore. That's who you should be taking because he's the one that's going to benefit. But anyway.
Did you see that Jimmy Graham returns to the Saints on a 1-year deal?
What?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Not happened today.
Wow.
1-year contract.
That does not make any sense. They have a
Really?
bazillion tight ends.
Well, they must not like any of them.
They have Foster Moreau, Juwan Johnson, Taysom Hill. Those are all
Taysom Hill is not a tight end. He's a
Okay.
position that can't be named.
So they still have Foster Moreau and Juwan Johnson. They're both very capable tight ends.
Yeah. I'm not gonna. They got a crowded tight end room in New Orleans.
So why are we bringing back Jimmy Graham and paying? It doesn't make any sense.
Because the Saints suck. That's why.
They might just be. Maybe they just want to sell some tickets, man.
You know what?
I think they're.
I don't know. Ask a Saints
they're
I
fan.
don't know any. Oh, I know one.
No one.
I know one. He dropped out of. I know one. He dropped out of our dynasty league last year, so I don't really know any. But anyway, all I'm trying to say is, I think their offense actually might be sneaky okay.
Yeah, I think
they got decent wide receivers. I think they got some tight ends. I think their O-line's okay. And
they got some people that can run
backs.
the ball, and they got a quarterback that can throw it. I think they're going to be. I think they're going to be an average team. I don't think they're going to be bad.
I think they get
15 to 20,
7 to 8 wins.
Yep,
that's the most I'd give them.
Yeah,
but Derek
that might win the AFC South.
Oh God,
NFC South. My bad.
Yeah, it's okay.
I just want to talk about the AFC so bad.
Yeah, I know. Let's jump in. We covered enough news. There might be one or two more things, but I just want to talk about it real quick because Saquon's thing is a big deal.
Saquon's thing was big.
Fantasy.
The Trayvon Diggs thing was big too. But for fantasy purposes, the Saquon news is super relevant.
Yeah. So anyhow, AFC North, folks. We got the Bengals, we got the Ravens, we got the Browns, and we got the Steelers.
Who's last?
The Steelers.
Yeah.
I
love that. I love that.
The only one that doesn't have a potentially top 7 quarterback.
I love that. I fucking hate the Steelers.
And they also they're not excellent on defense. You know what I
think
mean?
with TJ Watt playing they're excellent on defense.
They're
definitely better. It's like when the Cowboys would lose Sean Lee. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's a huge difference maker, but
I mean,
you need other parts.
It is huge.
They paid Alex Highsmith a shit ton of money. I don't know if you guys saw that. He got a bag about a week ago too.
Yeah.
So I think they're thinking he's the next TJ Watt maybe because he's an edge rusher too, young edge rusher. It must have came on at the end of last year. I was looking up a little bit of stuff on him, but anyway, it's not here nor there. Their secondary is aging to me. Their defensive line, Cam Hayward is getting old. You know, TJ Watt can never stay healthy. I just think, do they have a defense that can make plays? Do they have a defense that could get hot for a minute? Yeah, I don't think they have a defense that can stand the test of the season. That's what I'm saying.
You think Patrick Peterson's got anything left in the tank?
Absolutely not. He's so old.
Very old.
The same way.
Killer athlete. Very old.
Now, I mean, on the offensive side of the ball, they did bring in Allen Robinson, which it's easy to laugh at that one, but I mean, it's still an improvement over where they were at last year, I think, as far as having targets.
I think you replaced Chase Claypool with a less good older player.
I don't know that I agree with that. I think that off of recent evidence, sure, but I still think there's potential there.
Allen Robinson cannot get separation. is Kenny Pickett a dot thrower?
I don't believe in Kenny Pickett.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, so but here's an argument counter to that. We saw George Pickens win a ton of contested catches last year.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Pickett's willing to throw the ball up. That's kind of Allen Robinson's game. But the problem is, how many times did you watch Allen Robinson get thrown a corner route ball from Matt Stafford last year and jump like 2 inches off the ground?
Or that slant that was an easy touchdown that just bounced off of his numbers.
He looked worse than not good. He looked like an athlete whose body quit on him. He looked rustic.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the offensive kind of scheme. Like he did well with the Bears for a while, and I think as far as like
because he was the only guy that had a number.
But what I'm saying, yeah, you're right. But as far as the kinds of offenses and just team schemes that the Bears and the Steelers run, there seems to be some overlap. You know what I mean? I think maybe just not lost in the circus of the Rams. And it was a bad year for them too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's over for Allen Robinson.
So I want to, like, if we look up some stats on him, I believe he had over 100 targets, and he might have had one of the top 10 red zone target rates of any player in the entire league because Cooper Kupp got hurt and he was the only guy there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I believe he caught like 60% of his targets, which is atrocious. And then I also believe that like his touchdown rate on his red zone targets was also horrendous. Like he's been getting paid.
Had 52 targets and he caught 33 of them.
Okay.
But only 340 yards and 3 touchdowns is the only guy. So
but I believe I was off by a considerable lot. But I believe that his red zone targets were still quite high comparatively, and he did not catch many of them.
Yeah, I watched that with my own eyes because I believe he was on my team for a while. So
he was. I remember you got him late, and everyone's like, "Yeah,
yeah,
good pick."
That's what I'm holding on to.
He got paid a lot of money to go out there too, and he did nothing.
Yeah, Wilson got a lot of fucking pats on the back for that draft pick.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to remind everybody that.
I mean, hey, you did it right by drafting Allen Robinson.
You can't get them all right. It's like my comedy approach. If you just keep firing them out, you're gonna get some.
You're gonna miss some.
So let's start at the top with the Steelers, though. We talked about Allen Robinson a little bit, but let's start. Let's organize a little bit. We got Kenny Pickett, year 2.
Won't be on a fantasy roster.
Probably not. Shouldn't be. He really shouldn't be. It's not a great offense.
Nope.
The offensive line improved. That might help him a little bit. They did add some people. They should be better. I don't think they're going to be like worse than the league status. I think they might be around 16 to 20, maybe.
Okay.
That's their ceiling for their offensive line, right?
Yeah.
So, that might help Kenny Pickett. I think George Pickens gets better. I think George Pickens is a phenomenal talent. I think Diontae Johnson's going to have regression, is going to score more touchdowns after scoring 0 on 160 targets.
Gotta come up, right?
Yeah.
Gotta come up.
I think he's going to be better. Is he going to be a quarterback you want to draft? No, there's other quarterbacks.
Who's the most interesting?
Go ahead.
Who's the most interesting piece offensively, you think, fantasy wise? Because I mean, I know Najee Harris is going the highest, but I feel like George Pickens has the. You think Diontae Johnson's most interesting?
For sure. Mm-hmm.
I love Diontae Johnson. Yes,
we love.
Absolutely.
What about George Pickens?
I like George Pickens, but Diontae Johnson is what gets lost in the sauce with the Steelers' mess last year. Diontae Johnson is one of the best route runners in the NFL. He is. His separation is I don't want to say Stephon Diggs level, but he's on that level of route runner. Is he the athlete that Stephon Diggs is? Is he in the offense that Stephon Diggs is? No. But he's a fantastic route runner. He's a guy that can catch 8 passes for 80 yards, falling out of bed, and he's going to score more touchdowns this year. And that's valuable.
This is the part that I want to talk about then. Where does Diontae Johnson go?
Right now, he's going wide receiver 29 to 30. That's too low. He's a wide receiver 2, locked and loaded. 18 to 24, somewhere in there. That's where he's going to finish 100%. That's what I think.
I don't know that I want a single Steeler on my roster, given where they're going to be drafted at, except perhaps Pat Freiermuth, if there's no other options left. But that doesn't excite me.
Yeah, no, I don't want anyone Pittsburgh on my roster. None of them.
If I get Najee Harris, where would you draft Najee at?
Not until the third round. That's how I feel about him.
Thinking. Yeah.
Running back 12, probably. That's where he should go.
Yeah, I don't want
one off the board.
I don't want any piece of that fucking Pittsburgh.
Najee Harris or Aaron Jones?
Aaron Jones.
Well, no.
Aaron Jones. I said it. I'm sticking with it. Aaron Jones.
Najee Harris or Jahmyr Gibbs?
Or I'm sorry, who? I was interrupted by this fucking guy. Oh no. That one's tough.
A little bit.
That was potential.
Tough. You haven't seen one of them, right?
My instinct says Najee Harris.
Yep.
Najee, because Mike Tomlin runs a one running back system.
Yep.
Jahmyr Gibbs is going to split with David Montgomery. He's not going to have the goal line work.
I think that to be true as well. But I guess to see how close those two are, that's indicative.
Well, they're back to back. It's splitting hairs. Jahmyr Gibbs is running back 13. Najee's running back 12.
Okay.
So
all right.
Najee Harris or Breece Hall? Did I say that one already?
You did not. Breece Hall.
Unfortunately, probably Najee, because I think Breece is not going to be healthy. I'm sorry, man. I think he's going to struggle.
I hear you, Breece Hall.
I want to take Breece Hall. I think he's going to struggle for the first. Okay,
as the answer. When he said one or two, and you said, well, two. Right. Oh, but I really want one.
Yeah, you know what, though? Pull up the Jets' first 4 weeks. Pull up their schedule.
Sounds like you already have it.
No, I don't. But I know it. I just don't know.
It sounds like you don't.
No, I do.
That's preseason. Bills, Cowboys, Patriots, and then Chiefs. But wow.
All right, cool. So then they have a really good running back after the first month. He can take his time coming back.
Why would I want to take a running back who's not going to be healthy for 4 weeks when I can take a guy who's going to get 20 carries, is going to catch 2 passes a game, and is going to be healthy from the jump?
Well, because
when they're going right next to each other.
I'm gonna tell you why, Patrick. Because some of us actually want to win when it counts.
I can get an upside running back at other spots. My running back one could easily be Johnny T, and then I come back with Najee Harris.
Yeah,
with that.
Okay.
Wait, you would take Najee in the second? Is that what you're saying?
No. I would take Najee in the third. In between that, I'm going to get a wide receiver. But
who's that wide receiver?
And what are you talking about? In the second round?
Yeah.
Second round wide receiver for me. I mean, we're going. That's DeAndre Hopkins, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper territory. Second round. That's where those guys are going.
Okay.
What else we got for Pittsburgh?
Anyway, this guy challenging me over here.
Well, I just want to know what you got going on, man.
He's just trying to get you to lay out as much of your draft strategy as possible.
My draft strategy is fluid. I'm water, man. I'll take whoever's the most valuable. Anyway.
I think you're in a drought.
Because you lack resistance.
No, I'm telling you. You'll see a draft like you've never seen.
If you're drafting as water, then damn it, I lost it. I had a joke. It was going to be good. And it just slipped away.
No, you got to stay water. You can't be too committed to one player. You got to have targets, but you can't be too committed to one player because it's never going to work out the way.
And you know what? You can't be too committed to winning either if you're drafting for Patrick's team.
It's true.
This guy. Anyway,
hasn't rained in a while.
The other one we should mention. This type of shit I had to deal with. I'm going to win it this year, and I swear to God, I'm too nice of a guy.
This year.
In your favor, the favorite thing about this podcast is that the three of us finished 1, 2, and 3 last year, and then Erica, the producer, coming in the 4th spot, which is usually reserved for Patrick. Patrick had to beat his own wife to advance himself.
Patrick
call me a wife beater. Beat her 3 times, by the way. Not just once.
You did.
Beat her 3 times. Anyway, I got to keep her in check. It keeps her interested. You know how it is. Anyway.
It does keep it interesting. Legally.
All I'm trying to say is this. Is that, if anything, it's an advertisement to listen to the goddamn podcast because clearly it's paying off. So All
I
I'm
think
trying to say
Brant's
is,
the only person that's listening. Have you checked to see how many views they've been getting?
don't look at the views. Just
Don't look at the views.
lean
I'm not-
into the job.
Hey, I'm the bookkeeper. It's my job to look at the numbers. You know that.
That's fair. It's not
Okay.
great. The first one, we had a lot of hype. We got up to 16, baby. We were living
I
high.
do it so you guys don't have to.
I know.
Like
I don't know. We need to. I mean, eventually, maybe if we keep going and we do a few more things, we figure out ways to get more people to watch it. But we have to do more stuff like this that focuses on general news. If we want more people to watch. That's one thing. But anyhow,
Structure would be good.
yeah, exactly. Graphics,
So-
like there's things.
Pittsburgh's last, right?
Pittsburgh's
Absolutely.
last.
Who's
Kenny
third?
Pickett shouldn't be drafted. But we're
Yeah.
not done yet. We're not done.
We should
I
be.
think we're pretty well
Jalen-
done with Pittsburgh.
We're spending too much time on awful fantasy Pittsburgh.
We've touched almost everybody on the roster. Who else you got?
Jalen Warren should be. He's a very capable handcuff to Najee. If Najee goes down, Jalen Warren's a good player. You should have him
There
on
you
your
go.
team.
Yeah, there you
Anyway,
Okay.
all right,
All right.
continue. Who's third?
go. Who is third?
Cleveland.
Cleveland, right? Okay. Gotta be
If-
Cleveland.
If Deshaun Watson, if I had more faith in Watson, I might swap him with Lamar, but in the Ravens, but I'm not there.
The
And I mean,
defense.
and just Cleveland as a whole, like that franchise, anything you put the Browns sticker on is like, they're gonna fail somehow.
And while the Najee or the removal of Kareem Hunt is better for Chubb's fantasy value, I don't think it helps the team.
Accurate.
They have other guys who can play that role, though.
Yeah, I'm saying they do, but they're not better because Kareem Hunt's not there.
No, but I think Kareem Hunt's getting old. He didn't have as great a year last year. He was not as explosive. Like he's still a fine player, but
But the depth he provided, and now you're left with just question marks.
It's true. An RB2 that looks like Kareem Hunt is better than the RB2 that they're going to put out there this year.
There'll be other guys that are floating. If Chubb goes down, they can bring in a veteran. You can always bring in a veteran. That's
true.
They're always around. So all I'm trying to say is the only thing I would say about Cleveland that they have the edge over Baltimore still. I think because I mean we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves, but I think the Browns probably have one of the better defenses still in this division.
I think so too.
I think they might be better than some of the other two top teams that we're going to talk about later. So that's one thing that could tilt things in their favor in divisional matchups. They might be able to steal one or two from the top teams.
Well, all four of these teams went 3-3 in the division last year. Every one of them. So it's just kind of one of those. What's the word I'm looking for? Just a tough spot to be in. You know what I mean? Everybody drafts depending on the other teams.
That's really surprising, thinking Cincinnati went 3-3 in that division.
Remember how bad they started off last year?
They
started
did.
off bad. They lost
did.
like 4 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
One of them to the backup quarterback Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty
Cooper
wild.
Rush went out and got the Bengals.
I remember we literally did an episode where we opened up and the whole news was what stinks in Cincinnati. I mean, that's how bad they were.
It was bad.
And then they won. I think they won like 8 in a row at the end of the year. Like they just.
And then they were like a play or two away from the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean that's how it goes in the NFL when you get hot and you're a good team like that. But anyway, we're talking about the Browns. Deshaun Watson this year, I think,
very interesting fantasy perspective.
Yes.
Very interesting fantasy perspective. I want Deshaun Watson on my team.
He's your late round target.
Yeah.
He's your Jalen Hurts this year.
I don't want to be in that top 6 of people getting quarterbacks. I want to get Deshaun Watson late.
Or Herbie. Herbie or Watson are my guys this year. Maybe Richardson.
Richardson.
And then back him up with a veteran.
Yeah, because if you get them late, you get all that running. If they just say go ahead and go do it.
No way. Not touching Richardson.
I don't think so either, but here's how I would do it, Jake. I would go Richardson and then I would get Tannehill. Or something like that.
And I would hate that if it was on my team.
The upside of that though is massive. But I'm not that type of guy either.
It's the guy whoever was holding on to Justin Fields last year when it happened. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, but I drafted him the year before that, and it was shit.
Yeah, it was.
And you win some, you lose some. We thought Trey Lance was going to be that guy too. What the hell has he ever done? Nothing.
It's true.
So
it's true.
You got to take your shots. Sometimes they don't always pan out, like Allen Robinson, like we were just saying. But anyway, I
Nick
think
Chubb goes
Deshaun-
first in the offense, obviously.
Yeah, he's the first.
You like what, RB4?
4. 3 or 4, honestly, because you got CMC, Eckler, that's top 2, right?
Yeah.
And then 3
Chubb's
or 4.
my 3, honestly. Chubb's my 3rd.
So the top 5 is this. It's CMC, Eckler, and then it's intermixing either Bijan, JT, and Chubb. Those are the top. That's the top 5, and it depends on how you
Barkley
feel about
up there
this.
too. Now that he signed his deal,
Barkley usually goes like 6th. Actually,
Yeah, I'm not putting him in top 5.
interestingly enough. Yeah,
I'm not putting Bijan up there either, though. I don't want a rookie quarter. I don't want a rookie. I just don't.
all about Bijan. Let's go.
I know a lot of people are, and someone's probably going to do really well with him. I won't pay the price that he's going to cost this year.
especially since he's a Falcon, and I've just seen how abysmal they utilize their weapons.
Yeah,
But the part that you're forgetting is that on the metrics, they were literally one of the best run blocking teams in the NFL last year.
Does that
If you look up their
translate
run
to
blocking,
fantasy value, or are you going off real life?
it absolutely did. Tyler Algier was a valuable player last year.
Yeah.
Tyler Algier was a flex worthy running back, and he would put up, like, look at what he did on Erica's team last year. He filled in after JT went down. He's one of the only. She lost JT and Brees Hall. She filled in with Tyler Algier, and she still made a run in the playoffs, partially because of Tyler Algier.
Yeah.
Like, he put up numbers last year. And you know what? He I think is a good, talented running back. Is he the level of that Bijan is? Absolutely not.
You don't think they're going to split some time with running back since they have high draft picks at both of them? You think they're all just going to go to Bijan?
He's a rookie. Run him. It's the NFL, baby. We're not investing in running backs. Let's get it rolling. Put him on the rails. Run that train. You know what I'm saying?
Choo choo.
You drafted him number 8 overall. You have to play him.
Oh,
you're
absolutely.
Right. You're right. You're
He's
right.
a first round pick. You better
Yeah,
be in
you
your
gotta
lineup every week.
Yeah.
You
don't have a choice. Look what Zeke did his rookie year. That's all I'm saying, baby.
Is he that?
Is
he that?
Is a generational talent.
So he is
He's
that.
better
is
than
what you're
Brees
saying.
Hall. He's better than Brees Hall.
Is he Zeke?
Is he
Is
Zeke?
he going
He
to
could
lead the
be.
league in rushing?
He
Is
could
that
be.
potential?
Okay.
He freaking could be. They don't
Is
have
he
a
gonna
good quarterback.
Because, I mean, Zeke essentially led the league in rushing his first 3 years. He just missed time that 1 year.
They have a coach that wants to run the ball. They have a quarterback that's in his second year. He's not proven. They have a good offensive line. They drafted him 8 overall. Draft Bijan, baby. Let's go.
I guess you're right. I
That's
mean, if
all
he's
I'm
good,
saying.
You're right. Yeah.
I think he's fantastic.
Okay.
But anyway.
All right.
Let's pull it back to the north.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back to Cleveland. Chubb
speaking
going
of
for.
fantastic,
Yeah.
Chubb's going to be amazing. The
Yeah,
volume's
he
going
is.
to be.
I want Nick Chubb on my team.
It's
So
gonna be
bad.
amazing. Yeah.
Feel the same.
25 carries a game. Derrick Henry level volume for Nick Chubb
Yeah.
this year. Yeah.
Nick Chubb is one of those people that are going to make it okay for me to land in the middle of a draft board this year.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because like I feel like I want to be on the ends and I don't want to be in the middle this year, but I'm like, I get Nick Chubb in the middle. Do I care?
I want 1 or 2 because I want Jefferson or Chase so bad.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Mhm.
I'm not taking CMC with the 1 or 2, so whoever's getting behind me can get a gift. But I'm taking wide receivers.
If you got
So
2 and someone goes CMC, you not going Eckler?
If I'm pick number 2,
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going. If I pick number 2 and somebody goes CMC, I'm taking JJ all day, without a doubt. Because here's the thing: I can take JJ and I can come back and still get like a Tony Pollard, a Najee Harris, and have them be my RB1. Man,
We
I
got to
don't care.
stay in Cleveland. That's on me. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's all right.
That's
We're talking
that's my
draft
fault.
strategy. It's okay.
That's my fault.
Don't worry. Hey, forget about it.
Don't worry about it.
Hey. Anyway, so the backups to Chubb, the handcuff. I don't think Diontae Johnson's there anymore. I think he left and took a contract somewhere. You got Jerome Ford, who's a kick returner. He's nobody. I mean, there's a chance maybe he becomes somebody. Diontae Johnson was a nobody until he was a somebody, and he was a real somebody. Diontae Johnson's a good player.
Yeah.
So we'll see. If Chubb gets injured, they'll probably sign somebody. Some old bum, and they'll bring him in, and they'll be pretty valuable.
And their season prospects will tank.
Yeah.
But I think they can get a lot done through the air. which leads us to our next point of talking about the tight end and the wide receivers.
Who's the deep threat? Do they have one?
Elijah Moore is the deep
You
threat.
think so?
Yes.
Okay.
Not Peoples-Jones?
No. Peoples-Jones is going to play the 3. Who's going to play
Amari runs better than Peoples-Jones, though.
Yeah, he's the 1. I mean, Amari's going to 8 to 10 targets a game, right?
No one runs a better post route than Amari Cooper.
Yeah. Amari Cooper is still great. He's not that old yet. I think he's 29. He's still got plenty of good years left. He's got one of the best quarterbacks he's ever played with. Dak's good. Deshaun Watson might be better.
Deshaun Watson's probably better.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, and now he has a full off season to work with him. It'll be interesting to see what they do. Who's the coach on there? It's Kevin Stefanski, the guy who used to be in Minnesota, right? He's a good coach. We'll see. Cleveland's perennial shithole, so maybe they'll just keep being that way. But we'll see. I think Elijah Moore is going to have a good second act. I really do. I think Elijah Moore is not quite as fast as Will Fuller, but I think he has a similar skill set.
Okay.
And we saw what Deshaun Watson did with Will Fuller. So
True. It was explosive.
To see. Yeah. Elijah Moore is a nice, as your 3rd or 4th wide receiver pick. That's a nice option. It's a nice high upside option. That's what I would say.
Okay.
I don't know who the number 3 is there. I don't think it matters. Because I think the number 3 option is really David Njoku. That's what I think, So
could be another person that's laced with potential that hasn't quite come into
crazy physique. That man has.
Ridiculous. Yeah. And has had some games. He had a couple games last year.
He's shown it.
Balls. Yeah. So
not consistent whatsoever, but I mean, killer athlete.
Well, they don't target him consistently, and they didn't have consistent quarterback play last year. Now, my one drawback there is, what's the tight end that really showed out with Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, I mean,
he throws those wide receivers.
He does, and he runs the ball instead of dumping it off.
Yeah, he scrambles, which is not good for the tight ends.
No, it ain't. I mean, we say that, but Mark Andrews with Lamar Jackson has been all over. So I don't know. I don't know if that philosophy even plays out.
You're right. And Rodgers threw a lot of touchdowns as a scramble guy to Tunyon. Rodgers scrambles around in the pocket a lot too, creating plays, and he threw a lot of touchdowns to Tunyon. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that holds true, but I just haven't seen, maybe it's just because, and maybe on the flip side, maybe Deshaun Watson hasn't had a talent like David Njoku at tight end. I can't remember anybody that was great in Houston when he was down there. It was DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller. That's who we had. So
yeah, but it almost sounds like you're assuming greatness from a person that hasn't shown it yet.
I think he's a fantastic athlete, and I think he's proven that he could be. I think he's proven that he's a top 10 tight end in the league. He's that good. I think that's how good he is. Yeah. He's maybe 8 or 9.
Yeah.
But anyway, anything else about the Browns?
I think Cleveland's defense is getting drafted this year.
Who knows? The way that defenses are with streaming and everything.
Yeah, if you're not in that top 4 group, it could be anything, right?
Then maybe, yeah.
I think
at some point it could just be who's got the better week 1 matchup,
Yeah.
I would definitely take the Jets or the Giants before them, I think I would have the Giants.
I don't know about the Giants. The Jets, obviously, but I don't know about the Giants there. Giants
got a young defense. And I think there's a lot of other defenses I would take before Cleveland might, I mean, in this division, I think they maybe have the best defense. They might. Yeah,
I don't know, though. I don't know.
Yeah, it's close.
But is it a scoring defense? You know what I mean? That's one of those obvious real life to fantasy things that don't always translate.
Definitely a sacking defense. It's definitely a pass rush defense, which can create turnovers, which can create points.
Browns are currently listed on the list I'm looking at anyway as the defense 19.
That's got to be because of the
interesting.
With the Ravens at 12, the Bengals at 11, and the Steelers at 4.
Steelers at 4. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't see the Steelers at 4.
Until TJ Watt gets hurt, I see the Steelers at 4.
I disagree.
I'm looking at these expert picks, and it's 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 12, and 19.
For the Steelers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't buy them at 4, man. I don't see
Until
it.
TJ Watt is hurt, I do. It's crazy the numbers that defense puts up when he's on the field. Right now, he's healthy. That's all I'm going on.
The Steelers are so well coached. That always benefits them too.
That's true. I mean, Mike Tomlin is a fantastic coach.
You think so?
He's
No, I
overrated.
don't.
I fully disagree on that one.
I don't.
He's one of the best coaches.
I don't believe in it at all.
He produces so much out of so little sometimes.
That's funny.
Anyway, number 2, I think by default, we almost have to say the Ravens, but I think the Ravens are going to challenge.
You have to say the Ravens in second.
Have to say the Ravens.
Bengals have been in 2 AFC championships in a row.
Yeah,
they have maybe.
And Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase exist.
Yeah.
And T. Higgins.
T. Higgins, even Tyler Boyd.
Tyler Boyd's gone after this year, but we'll get to that.
We can get to that right now.
No. Let's get to the Ravens first. I think the Ravens are the second.
Oh yeah, you're right.
A lot of interesting news with the Ravens. I mean,
are they the most exciting team in this division?
No, still Cincinnati.
Okay, not exciting as in like in the Super Bowl run, I guess.
Like
exactly, what are they?
Yeah.
I think they're the most like
intriguing.
Potential to be different.
People are saying like Lamar's going to have a great season. Mark Andrews is going to have a great season. I've seen people saying Odell Beckham's going to have a great season. Zay Flowers, the guy they brought in, how do you feel about him? I know Patrick's big on him.
Let's go, Zay.
Yeah,
all about Zay, baby. Let's go.
I feel good about a Raven offense right now. I want Ravens on my team, and that's a weird thing to say that isn't Lamar Jackson.
Reports are saying that with the new offensive coordinator, they're going to focus on a much more up-tempo, a little bit more pass-heavy offense.
Fast offense.
That's what I want.
Their rate of play is going to be faster. They're going to throw the ball more. They're still going to run it. They're John. Is it John?
They're the Ravens.
They're
John.
Harbaugh.
It's John.
Yeah, John. Right. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But John. They're a John Harbaugh team. Okay, they're still going to have that identity, but he's not an idiot. Okay, they got to move into the modern NFL. You got to move fast, so you got to throw the ball a little more. That's how you win. That's how
they went and hired a guy that his job is to do that. So
yeah. So and they brought in the weapons in order to do that as well. So, and I think you made Lamar happy. Okay, Lamar got a deal, right? So Lamar's ready to go. Lamar told them
where are those receivers going in the draft?
Golly.
Where are they going? That's a big mystery. That's a big mystery.
Right now, Rashad Bateman's going first. And you know what? I think if he was fully healthy, I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's the youngest and the most proven of the bunch. However,
not the most proven.
At this point in his career, Odell Beckham is not proven because he can't stay on the field.
If I'm taking Beckham, it's with my last pick. And I probably won't get him there, but that just means he won't be on my team.
Let's talk about Rashad Bateman for a second, though. Rashad Bateman, was supposed to be healthy right now. He was dealing. I don't know if it was a Liz Frank or what it was, but he had a foot injury that kept him off the field most of last year. He would come out, play half a game, then he was out for 2 games. He couldn't stay healthy. He's still dealing with that. He's still not healthy. He just had to have a cortisone shot a week ago.
Mm-mm.
And he can't. I'm not taking him. I'm not taking a guy.
Rashad Bateman.
No, I don't want him because that's Michael Thomas to me. That's got Michael Thomas written all over it.
And you know what that feels like.
Yeah, I do because I took him. It sucked. But all I'm trying to say is because based on that, and then Odell Beckham just came out the other day and said that he's going to retire after this year. Which means, like, how much more does he have left if he's feeling that way?
Good for him to get cashed in like that and then just be like, all right, I'm already going to move on from you before I've even started with you.
He literally said that like 2 days ago. He's like, I'm going to retire next year.
He's such a princess. Did you see
He's a prick, dude.
The video about – I saw this in the Fantasy Footballers about the video that came out with him looking like vintage Beckham, catching the ball with one hand. The funny part was the coach was like, oh, I like that. And all the other receivers were like, no, you don't. You're always telling us not to catch it with one hand. He's like, yeah, but with him, it's fine.
Yeah, it's great with him. Yeah, it sells tickets. Yeah. Nah, but the thing is I think Odell Beckham, if he stays healthy, can be fine, but I don't think he's gonna stay healthy. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think he's
How
gonna
long has
have
it been
5,
since he
6 solid
played?
games.
Has it been 3 years?
It's been a year. It's been a year and a half.
Been a year
since
and a half.
Super Bowl.
Well,
Super Bowl.
Yeah. It's been a calendar year and a half.
2 seasons.
Year and a half. Yep.
Yeah, he missed 1 season.
Got it.
And so so anyway, that's where I come in with Zay Flowers. I think there's an opening there. I think you have 2 guys in front of him that can't stay healthy. I think he's a very talented young wide receiver. He had massive production numbers at Boston College. He's a burner. He runs down the field. His work ethic the character aspect of it, by all elements of the conversation, he's got that. You see these other jabronis, Jordan Addison driving 140 miles an hour in his Lamborghini, okay, in training camp. You haven't heard anything like that about Zay Flowers. All you heard about Zay Flowers was on draft night, he looked in the camera when Lamar Jackson tweeted out, "Let's go, Zay." He looks in the camera and says, "We about to work, baby. Let's go." That's all he said, and then he walked off. That's the type of wide receiver I want on my team.
That's good,
Let's
but
go.
but to some extent, a lack of news doesn't necessarily mean it's positive news.
All I'm
could be a
saying is-
shitball and just hide it pretty well.
Nah, man. I think he's going to be this year's Garrett Wilson. That's what I think.
Where do you take him?
I'm not going to take him high because you don't need to.
Yeah, where do you take him?
I would like to have him as my 3rd or 4th wide receiver off the boards. Maybe like the 5th to 7th round, somewhere in there. That's why I want him. I want him as my 3rd wide receiver. 3rd
All
or
right.
4th.
Him or Elijah Moore?
Oh, him for sure.
Okay.
You talking about Zay?
Yeah, I'm going Zay. Going Zay over Elijah Moore.
Man, I'm looking at this list. Who else I can throw out at you? You taking Zay Flowers or Juju?
Zay by a mile.
Really?
Mm.
Zay
Yes.
Flowers or Brandon Ayuk?
Ooh.
I think Zay because he's got better quarterback.
Okay, you are high on that, man. Okay.
I like Zay.
Brandon Ayuk saw so many balls, though.
Debo's
So
there.
many-
George Kittle.
God, so many
Debo's there.
balls.
George Kittle's there. Brock Purdy had a run, but is he proven? I don't
Yeah,
think
but
so.
you're talking wide receiver 3 territory. though.
I know. So, that's I thought 4.
Maybe you know what? Maybe I'm not high enough on Brandon Ayuk, but I just don't. They always do it every year. I should be higher on Brandon Ayuk. You know what? You caught me. You caught me. I should be higher on Brandon Ayuk.
All right, one more.
Prove
Zay
that.
Flowers or George Pickens?
Zay Flowers.
Okay.
I like
Okay.
Zay Flowers.
Okay.
Almost
All
every
right.
receiver I just listed is about 20 spots ahead of Zay Flowers on this list. So
Cool.
it shows me how much you like him.
I
Okay.
love Zay Flowers.
All right. All right.
So anyhow, it doesn't mean I'm going to make stupid trades, folks. Come on now, we learn from our mistakes.
J.K. Dobbins, where's he going? I gotta know.
He hurt right now.
Trash.
He's
Is
on
he
the
hurt
pup.
again?
He's on the
Oh
pup.
God, I don't want any part of J.K. Dobbins.
Definitely not.
I mean, I definitely don't.
JK,
Everyone's higher on J.K. Dobbins than me. I don't want it.
He was the one I wanted the most, actually, other than Lamar and Mark
No.
Andrews. But
No. Nope.
I don't know anymore. I gotta see him. You know what? I gotta see him in the preseason. See how he
No.
looks.
I don't want any part.
Then I'll decide.
I mean, the offensive scheme is even going away from the running attack, and
Mm-hmm.
Lamar's the best rusher on the team.
Mm-hmm. I don't want no part
Those
of
are
J.K.
good
Dobbins.
arguments. I like
No part of
JK
J.K.
though.
Dobbins.
I like JK because of where you can get him though.
And I
He's on a
completely
good
disagree.
offense.
I feel like every single mock draft I've seen J.K. Dobbins' name pull up a round and a half before I'm ready to see his name pull up. I'm like, no.
Would you take J.K. Dobbins before Cam Akers?
I don't like either of those two.
That's a
I
coin
don't like
flip for
either
me.
of those two. I
That's where they
do
are,
not
though.
like. You're right. They are going next to each other, and I don't like either of them. So I'm out on both. So make me pick somebody else, please.
J.K. Dobbins or Alexander Madison?
Alexander Madison.
See, I don't like Alexander Madison. I think
Okay.
he's not
Said
proven at
that.
all.
Said the Packers fan.
Yeah, get out
No,
of here.
no,
Biased
no,
there
no.
or no?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
I'm
biased.
not
No.
taking- No. in my Aaron Jones jersey.
Yeah.
Like, the fuck out of here.
Alexander
I'm
Madison.
not biased at all.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
No,
Alexander
J.K.
Madison.
Dobbins or no, J.K. Dobbins or because we're in the AFC North. God damn it!
I know. All I'm trying to say about Alexander Madison is that his yards per contact have gone down 4 years in a row, and he's got enough carries that it shouldn't be doing that if it's a great running back. He's a trap. It's a trap. That's the meme for Alexander Madison. Anyway.
Okay.
We continue.
What else do we got on Baltimore? Who are we missing?
Mark Andrews. Get him in the third round if you can. Massive value if you can get him there.
I agree. I think he's a buy low pick at this point.
Does he go in the second? He
could go at the end of the second. He could go at the end of the second.
I think he does if there's like a weird tight end run kind of, but I don't think so.
Wasn't he the number 2?
He's the number 2 for sure.
He's the number 2.
Hawks 3, but
because you're gonna see Kelsey go in the middle of the first.
Yeah.
Do you think someone is like, I gotta get Andrews at the end of the second?
Well, if they do, somebody's gonna get a gift of a running back or wide receiver because of it.
Mm-hmm. It won't be me on Mark Andrews. It won't be me.
It might be me.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot that feeds into whether that happens or not.
The way I normally end up with Mark Andrews is if I'm like pick number 9 or 10. Because then what happens is I end up being the 4th pick of the 3rd round. That's where I get him most often.
If I wouldn't hate that.
No. The 4th pick of the 3rd round. 4th pick of the 3rd round. Yeah. Like if you're pick number 9 or 10, that's about where you can get him.
I'm still in the mindset that there's Travis Kelce and everybody else until Andrews reappears. He could definitely be in that conversation, but there's Travis Kelce and everybody else.
Yeah. You won't see Mark Andrews on my team because of where people are going to take him. I don't want to be the second. I don't want to be the second trigger pulled on a tight end position.
Well, because look at the value you're missing out. You could get potentially Deebo Samuel in that spot, and leaving that kind of value on the table for a Mark Andrews would hurt my soul.
I hate Deebo this year so much.
I'm not crazy about Deebo either, but like I like him more than Mark Andrews still. I like him more than Mark Andrews still.
For argument's sake, Aaron Jones or Mark Andrews. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That is a tough debate. That's tough.
Not for me.
Depends on roster construction. Like
who I already have. Aaron Jones.
That's fair. I love Aaron Jones, clearly.
But if you started the draft with 2 running backs, it's Mark Andrews.
Or and that's
because then I'm getting a receiver.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to take
we're talking. Yeah, I guess we're talking third round.
Can't do it.
And that round is DeAndre. In that scenario, it's DeAndre Hopkins, and you hope he actually is still DeAndre Hopkins. That's who you take.
Yeah.
So, or maybe you luck out and you get Amari Cooper. You get 2 good running backs.
Would love that. Would love that. I think Amari Cooper gonna have a really good year.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be good. But anyhow, I mean, Mark Andrews, you probably got to take him in the 3rd round. If you really want him, might have to take him at the end of the second. Otherwise, you're probably not going to get him.
And I'm going to laugh at you if you take Mark Andrews at the end of the second.
But
I'm glad that's on record because someone's going to do it, and I hope you get him. I hope you get him in public. I hope you don't pull off of it in the moment and act like someone who's respectable towards individuals because you're not.
No, this trophy is going to have me a little slanted.
I'm gonna buy you a shot before this draft to get you a little more slanted, okay? Because I want to see the character. I'm here for it.
I mean, don't expect the kind of show out that you put on last year.
I never would.
Man. Good. Anyhow, what else do we have to say about the Ravens? Maybe Gus Edwards could be a little sleepy, but Gus Edwards banged up too. Maybe it's Justice Hill is the one.
Maybe you don't have a running back in Baltimore.
Gus Edwards is either a handcuff, or
good God,
or he's just a waiver pickup.
Well, what I'm saying is, if J.K. Dobbins goes into the season hurt, then whoever's his backup is going to be
elevated value,
deep sleeper. Because if J.K. Dobbins goes down and you get the starter for the Ravens in like the 11th round, that could be a league winner. So, anything else about the Ravens? I think we covered it, right?
I think we're good there.
Let's talk about the reigning champs, the Bengies. Joe Cool himself in his prime, and I think he was absolutely right about the championship window being his entire career because he's that good. I mean, the guy's amazing.
He is.
They're going to keep that core together. T. Higgins might fall by the wayside eventually. I think they'd be silly to let that happen. But they're eventually going to have to pay some other guys if they want to create championship teams. But they got to keep chasing Burrow together. I mean, they'd be fools to let that fall apart.
They got to keep.
That's a once in a almost lifetime kind of just lucky scenario.
That's Randy Moss, Diontae Culpepper level. Like, come on, man. You got to keep those two together.
Yeah, but I got Burrow ahead of Culpepper.
Of course. Does, of course. But I'm just saying, like, if you're thinking about, like, great duos, like, I mean, who else can we think of? Like Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a good comparison. You know what
it
I mean?
is. So, it is.
Anyway, I mean, Joe Burrow is going to be fantastic. He's going QB5 right now. I would be happy to take him QB5. I mean, 300 yards and 3 touchdowns a week. Come on, let's go, man. That's like his baseline.
Yep.
So a bad game for him is 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's 16 points. I'll take that. That's his worst week. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. Going right there.
Yeah, I mean, I think enough said about Joe Burrow. You're probably going to have to take him. Probably going to have to take him in the 5th round if you want him. 5th, 6th round.
I agree.
5th round, probably, I would say.
I think I'd rather have Joe Burrow on my team than Lamar Jackson, now that I'm thinking about it. I just think Lamar Jackson, I think he's got a higher ceiling, but I just think the risk level is too high with that one. Joe Burrow seems like a way safer bet for somebody that can put out the same amount of points.
In the mindset of, like, there's 11 losers every year, I want Lamar Jackson. You know what I mean?
That's a two-sided argument, though, because if he ends up – I mean, I feel like the Lamar Jackson owner the last 3 seasons has been disappointed about having him on their team, outside of a handful of weeks.
When he was healthy last year, Strozzi was not disappointed at all.
Asterisk when he was healthy. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. Joe Burrow has been injured twice already since he's been in the league, too. We just forget it because he's been great the last few years, But
he's also a pocket passer. He does take on too many hits at the wrong time for a long-lasting career. But that's
they addressed the offensive line.
But that's Lamar Jackson's game plan, is to take a beating.
I don't know if that's the case this year. Maybe the offense changes.
We don't know. Yeah. I guess still I would rather have Lamar Jackson, but that's because of where I think I can get him.
I think he's going ahead of Joe Burrow.
He is going ahead of Joe Burrow.
He's the QB4. Burrow's the QB5.
Right now, it's Mahomes, Hurts, Allen, Jackson, Burrow. That's the rankings right now. Yeah. Mahomes number 1, Hurts 2, Allen 3, which is crazy that Allen is 3 to me. But
where did do you guys remember where Burrow went in our draft last year?
He went like Dave took him, and then Dave had Mahomes and him. Did he not?
I know.
Last year or the year before?
That was last year.
I think it was last year.
It was last year.
Because I was trying to get Burrow all year, and he kept him on his bench. It was ridiculous. Yeah. Anyway. Burrow had to have gone like 7 or 8 in that analysis, I would think. I probably still have the picture of the draft board somewhere.
I'm sure I do too.
But anyhow, I think Joe Burrow's a value. I think if you miss, the thing is like there's so many good quarterbacks. Like you want to get one of the top 5 guys, but like there's a lot of good options in the top 10 this year to me. Honestly, I mean, yeah. Anyway, we can talk about that for a while, but let's talk about Joe Mixon. I'm really interested in what you guys think about Joe Mixon because
I feel like he's falling in fantasy drafts, and I don't know why. I feel like the guy that took away some touches from him last year is no longer there. He's still on a really good offense. He's a year later into his career, but a year later into his contract. I feel like they're just going to give him the ball a lot.
Well, the bittersweet part of it for me, but that's the bittersweet part. He gets all the goal line work, so that's sweet. But the bitter part is I think maybe the numbers are off a little bit, but he had like 28 touches inside the 5-yard line last year and only like 5 touchdowns off of them.
He was not great inside the 5. You're right. But then now, is that because he's not great, or is that just a statistical anomaly and it's going to regress to the mean? And then he's going to get, if he has 30 touches this year, he scores 10 touchdowns.
I would lean
Yeah,
towards the latter. I think if you give him
I
20
would
red
too
zone
in that,
touches, it's
in that
probably better.
situation. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the mean would say that he should score more. Given the same amount of touches inside the 5, he should score at least 3 more touchdowns.
I feel like running backs are kind of easy to see like fall off that cliff too, and Joe Mixon doesn't look like that's happened at all.
And then just
Like
the
at all.
offense in general. You know what I mean?
I think Joe Mixon is still a talented running back. He's a big physical back. He's very capable. He runs between the tackles well. I don't think he has the burst that he used to have. I do think he's lost a step. I do.
I want Nick Chubb and Joe Mixon on my team.
You could do that because he's a running back 15.
There's a lot of scenarios in which I see that happen with like stud receiver still. I'm like, I want that squad.
That'd be nice. Be a nice setup.
I'm thinking like a Nick Chubb, Josh Jacobs kind of vibe. At the turn of
I don't know about Josh Jacobs, man.
Got bad vibes. Got
I
bad
do.
vibes out there in Las Vegas.
I don't like him.
I like Devontae Adams because guess what? Jimmy G got medically cleared, baby. Jimmy G gonna be the quarterback.
You're writing off the guy that was the running back 1 at like week 14 last year.
I hear you. But like we discussed this and we we compared him to Alfred Morris, if you remember right.
You did.
I didn't get a lot of grief about it. How about that?
Jake just is basking in the glory of that trophy. It's finally remembering those Jacobs.
That overtime game, man. Whoo, that was the best moment of my fantasy season last year.
Yeah,
besides the dub.
I'm like, is it the best moment?
Second
like,
best.
Okay.
It was amazing. But anyway, I think Joe Mixon's going to be great. Some people think there's a very outside shot, but it's been said that Chase Brown, the rookie, could take some touches later in the year. Like he's talented enough. They brought him in. I think he was a 3rd or 4th round pick. That's high enough draft capital that if he performs well when he's given an opportunity, he could still 5-10 touches a game.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't remember exactly when Chase Brown was taken, but apparently they like him.
5th round.
Fifth round. Okay, I was a little bit, but still, I
third feel way different.
That's true. Yeah, very true. But people have said that. Do I think it's going to happen? No. I think it's Joe Mixon's job. Do I think it's possible that they could bring in some type of Kareem Hunt type character? It's possible. They might do that.
Chase Brown is 3 on the depth chart, so you just not excited about Travion Williams at all?
Travion Williams has been in the league for 5 years. What has he ever done? If they wanted to give him an opportunity, they would have done it already.
Yeah.
He's there because the rookie needs to prove his worth and beat him on that
the ladder.
Yeah,
okay.
That's why.
Okay.
Yeah,
I could see that being a possibility.
So I want the wide receivers. That's the fun part. Jamar Chase,
top 3 pick.
Top 3, right? Yeah,
top 3.
Yep.
4.
I
mean, it
probably 3.
If I'm at number 3, he's probably going top 4 because that means I get Austin Eckler again.
The only reason why,
or Justin Jefferson, I'm getting one of those 2.
Yeah. I have to continue to remind myself that in a half-point PPR league, CMC and Eckler should probably. They should both be there. Well, the top 4 are CMC, Eckler.
Watching Patrick's face accept this is just so
it's
good.
Sad because
I know that the number 1 and 2 picks should be the number 1 and 2 picks.
But hear me out.
But listen, Jamar Chase.
I want Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase 101, baby. Let's go. I might do it. Probably not.
Honestly, here's the thing. If you want him, that's what you got to do if you got the first overall pick, and no one's trying to trade back at 4. Yeah. So if that's your guy and you're number 1, then light it up. And I don't think it's really gonna have that many people go, "Oh, what the hell are you doing?" Yeah, it'll just make number 2 excited that they get CMC.
Yeah, but like, somebody can be like, "Oh, like whoever drafts Jamar Chase is gonna be like, oh man, I got Jamar Chase." Like,
you're right.
No,
you're gonna be super excited.
If you're bummed about your first round pick, it's because you picked wrong.
Absolutely.
It's because you took Najee Harris with the number 4 overall pick.
It's because you took somebody who doesn't belong in the first round. Is what happened.
Because you mentally didn't show up on draft day.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Diontae Johnson.
Remember what they say? You can't win your league on a draft, but you can certainly lose it.
Yeah, the first 2 rounds. That's the thing, right? Can't win it there, but you can lose it there.
You
can't
really.
miss.
It's really hard on draft day, right? As long as you don't pick someone who's injured or whatever. It's really hard on draft day if you have like some semblance of where people should go to massively fuck up the first 2 rounds. You win.
And yet every year somebody does it.
Oh yeah.
And yet every year somebody does it.
You're right. You're not wrong. But
it's like a huge gaffe every time they do, but like they always do.
Somebody does. It's great. It's always fun. I'm calling Bailey. But anyway, we'll see. Dave, I think, is putting in work. Dave's in the middle of a fucking like Rocky montage right now, just mock drafting, sweating. He's hitting the buttons. He's like, "There's no way I'm doing it again." You know what I mean? Like,
oh man, I was looking at the draft fucking ladder, the loser consolation ladder, and just watch him put up like 55 points the last week. He was in the best spot, the top of the ladder. All you have to do is win 1 of your 3 games. And then lost to the 2-win Bailey team that only got, I think, 3 wins on the season. I think 2 of them were against Dave.
That is accurate.
He was like a poop lace slinky. Just falling down the loser's bracket right into the toilet bowl. Sorry, that image just came to me. It was that I had to say it.
Poop lace slinky.
Oh, fantastic image.
That's what you come to this podcast for, texture.
You're welcome. We should call this episode the Poop Lace Slinky. Anyway, anyhow, we're off the rails. Jamar Chase is great. Take him the top 4 picks. Nobody will laugh at you.
Can we go back to the poop lace slinky? Because I just got this image of like a spiral cut corn dog covered in chili that like they could sell at Seaside Slushies and Dogs, and they could just call it the Dave.
Poop lace slinky?
Yeah.
Otherwise known as the Dave?
Oh, yeah, that's good.
All right, let's lay off Dave. He'll never make it this far on the pod, but somebody might tell him. Anyway.
Poop lace slinky.
Oh, it's amazing. Anyhow, T. Higgins. He's more interesting to me than Jamar Chase because where does he go? Right now, he's the wide receiver 13, right about. He's going around Devonta Smith. I think maybe Deebo Samuel's in there too.
That seems to be where I got him.
I would love to have Olave over T. Higgins. I want Olave so much more than T. Higgins.
That one's a coin flip for me. I think I like Higgins because of the opportunities he's going to – when I say that, Olave's going to get a ton of opportunities. But I just like the offense better in Cincinnati.
I like Higgins more, but I'm on record on this podcast saying that I'm not as high on Olave as everybody else is.
I think Olave can finish top 5 this year.
He could.
Given health and Derek Carr staying healthy as well. So I don't think T. Higgins can do that. I think T. Higgins has – here's the way I compare them.
Lower ceiling, higher floor. T. Higgins.
Yes,
that's exactly it. You know what you're getting, and if you want those base numbers, man, plug them in.
Yep. But if you want to go to the moon and you need that on your team, it's Chris Olave, baby.
That's accurate. Yeah. That's accurate. There's 11 losers.
Play to win.
It's true. Consistent points in the playoffs, though, is so key.
It is, but I think if you don't have that with your first wide receiver, then what do you – I mean, so here you go. Here you go. If your first wide receiver is either Chris Olave or T. Higgins, maybe
roster construction. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
Yeah. Not me, but you guys.
Some things will never change.
I'm going Chris Olave either way, but if we're thinking about it logically and not with our hearts. Anyway, I think Chris Olave is great, but anyhow, Tyler Boyd, he could be like 14th, 15th pick level. You could have him there. He's a good depth piece if one of them gets hurt. He's a proven wide receiver. He can light it up, give him the opportunity.
Where you'll get him, it'll be tough looking at him on like that bench flex position like every week. If you got him, you're like, is this the week that I put in Tyler Boyd?
Well, you play him when T. Higgins is hurt. Or do you play him when one of the other two's hurt? When one of the other two's hurt, throw him in if
There
you
you
need
go.
him. You know,
There you
that's
go.
what you do.
Okay.
He's going to be gone next year. They're not going to be able to pay him. It'd be interesting to see where he goes. He'll play well for somebody else. Irv Smith at tight end is actually very intriguing as a late tight end.
Wait a minute.
You think so?
Irv Smith. Irv Smith is in Cincinnati?
Yes, he's their starting tight end.
Really?
Which I think is very interesting.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
I want that Irv Smith magic again.
I know, right?
You really?
Shit. Yeah.
He's a good tight end. Talented tight end.
It's because if you get Irv Smith, it's the last tight end to go, right?
He might not even be drafted.
He might not.
Right now, he's ranked.
Oh, you get him for free. You could get him for free, and he could be a stud.
He's going in Gerald Everett range.
Interesting.
He's going 8 spots lower than that on the list I'm looking at. He's going in like Tyler Conklin.
I'm taking him over Tyler Conklin. Jesus Christ.
In the money in in the best ball drafts where like the ones I base it off, right? Like it's $25 a pop. The top prize is like millions of dollars. Like most people who are doing that are like ranking things pretty seriously. He's tight end 18 on that list, and Gerald Everett's tight end 17.
I think I'd rather have Zach Ertz than Irv Smith. I'm not trying to get either one of them, to be clear.
Zach Ertz isn't even the tight end one on his team. It's Trey McBride.
What's that tell you about how I feel about Irv Smith?
Dang.
Well, Irv Smith is playing.
Irv Smith is just a, he's one of those things like you get it because of where you think you could get him, which is for nothing. And then like the potential to go absolutely nuts.
Look at what Hayden Hurst and CJ Uzama did. I think Irv Smith is better than both of them.
He's way more athletic, that's for sure.
Yeah, and a better route runner overall.
A killer runner. I don't want to talk myself into fucking Irv Smith again. God damn it.
He could be a tight end too. You could take him as a depth tight end if you wanted a second.
Well, yeah, because you just hope that catches. What are they paying him? What are they paying Irv Smith?
Can't be a lot.
What are they paying him? I want to know. I like drafting with contracts. I think it's
It is important because if you pay a guy enough, you got to give him the ball.
Their name's going to come up in some meetings.
The boss can be like, "Hey, man, pay this guy $10 million."
Irv Smith is on a 1-year, $1.75 million.
All right, they did not give him
1.75.
They didn't give him a thing.
They didn't give shit. Well,
they
didn't
give You're right. He hasn't. I just didn't know if someone does reach though. I want to know about that.
That's fair. It's good to know.
Okay. All right. So they're not paying him.
I don't think I got much else to say about Cincinnati. Their defense is going to be opportunistic. I think you could take their defense as a turnover type defense. What are you two doing over here? Get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that covers it for AFC North fantasy value.
What,
now we
touch on a little AFC playoff action.
I would like to. We have covered the entire AFC, a full 16 team.
Well,
could we build? Let's build the playoffs. 1 through, what is it, 8?
Well, let's go the 4 divisions.
Who
do we had the Chiefs on top.
9. It's 9, right?
As a division winner, we had who else? We got the Bengals on top of their division. We got who else? Who do we put on top of the South?
No, there's 7 teams from each. Because there's
I'm
the
just
4 division
winners first, and then
Thank you for that. My math was effy.
Yeah. Well, I just heard Cody say 9. I was like, it's 7.
Yeah, it's not
9.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So we're the 4 division winners. Locked in spots. Chiefs, Bills, Bengals. I mean, going off of our selection.
Based on what we said, yeah.
Chiefs, Bills, Bengals, and then who did we say in the South? Probably Titans, right?
Probably the Titans.
Maybe our hearts say Jags, but probably
our hearts say Jags, but probably the Titans.
So they got Jags. Sorry, go ahead.
Especially with Hopkins there now too.
Yeah.
So we got Jags as potentially the top.
I definitely have Jags in there.
I don't know if they make a wild card though, because you have so many other good second teams in the other divisions. Ravens, the Jets.
It's the Dolphins, the Jets, and The Ravens. It's true.
You know what? I think the Dolphins don't make the playoffs.
I agree with that.
I fucking hate you guys, man. Why you gotta
I
do
think they
that?
don't.
I want to see the
I
Dolphins.
don't think they do.
You know what?
I
You're
don't
probably
think they're
right
there.
because the AFC's fucking stacked.
I think the
My
Chargers.
heart is in Miami. I think you're right though.
I think the Chargers are going to be there before Miami is, because I think the Chargers are going to benefit a lot from a more cohesive offense with Kellen Moore. That's what I
because
think.
you got to put the Chargers in there
Man,
too.
I'm looking at this. You're right though about the AFC being stacked because like you got Chiefs, Bengals, Bills, Titans, Jacksonville. So one of the bubble teams is going to be the Jets, Chargers, the Ravens, and the Jaguars. And out of those, I'd probably pick the Jaguars to miss.
And then, and I would pick out of what you just said, Chargers and Ravens are in for me.
I would agree.
Do we think that are the Jets a lock?
I
Not
would
at
put
all.
them in there for maybe not for the division winner, but for the playoffs. Yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers completely changes that team.
They're a lock for the. I think they're a lock.
Think they're a lock for the
playoffs.
playoffs?
I think so. They have a great defense. They have a good coach. They have
I think they
good
might win the
offense.
division.
I mean, they're a
that's like
38-year-old quarterback away from like an ankle, and then like being the Jets again.
I think the Bills are going to still put it on them. I do.
I mean, all this talk about Miami not going to make it because of concerns at quarterback and finishing a season. I mean, how old is Aaron Rodgers?
I think maybe an unorthodox pick, a little off color, is that the Bengals or the Bills are trending down. Still think they're great. I think they're trending down. I think
they're starting to curve over the
Think so?
hill.
Is it because we're tired? Is it just because we're tired of them not doing it? Is that all?
No. If we
That's
look at
part
the
of
hill,
it, but it's not all of it.
the age of their players too. If you look at the hill, like their arc of this core of their team.
Yeah,
I think a year or two, like 2 years ago, we were like on this part of the hill, like the top of the hills here. We were on like this part of the hill, right? They were coming up, and they almost did it. They had that game where they almost beat Patrick Mahomes, and they almost went to the Super Bowl.
God, they should have.
And then they had another.
They missed
year,
it,
and they almost did it again. But then they lost to the Bengals, right?
They did beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead last year regular season, but it was like week 4 or 6 or something. So
they look good. They look good doing it.
They've been trying so hard, and they just cannot get past the Bengals and the Chiefs. And I don't know if they're going to do it this year either. They're getting older. Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde are getting old. They can't stay healthy. That's the core of their defense. Secondary.
Some uncharacteristic mistakes by Mr. Allen too. Fumbles, interceptions.
Okay.
I still think they're great.
Okay.
They're trending down.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, the AFC Championship game is going to be in Kansas City, right?
We'll see.
Probably.
I mean, they have less on offense than they did last year, but they still fucking do it every year.
They do.
We said the exact same thing last year after losing Hill, right?
And they were fine. And he still threw damn near 40 touchdowns. So, because of Travis Kelce is why.
Well, and if you're looking at playoff contention with like bye weeks and stuff like that too, or bye week in the playoffs and playoff positioning, having the home field advantage that they have with Arrowhead on top of their amazing players and a fantastic coach, I think it's definitely going to Arrowhead.
Yeah, I mean,
we
could be surprised. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, it's the NFL. Anything can happen.
But the odds-on favorite, though, right?
Yeah, they are the odds-on favorite.
Yeah, but yeah, it'll be interesting. I
just can't believe
synopsis.
I just can't believe the caliber of team that's going to miss the playoffs in the AFC.
I know, right? And then the caliber of team that's going to get in the NFC. The team that the one stinker that's going to get in the NFC is going to be whoever wins the South.
Accurate.
They're going to be like 8-9.
And I'm picking the Saints.
Yeah. Well, in the NFC, but I mean in the AFC too. I think the Titans are going to be like 8-9 or like.
Here's the thing, but they can beat one of those hot wild card teams because they're going to host and give the ball to Derrick Henry a lot. But then I think Jacksonville could get in as a wild card over there, or Tennessee's the wild card still too. I
like Tennessee. I like them for maybe even 10 wins.
I like Tennessee.
DeAndre Hopkins to Derrick Henry. Like it's going to be on them to not fuck it up.
I like Tennessee until the divisional round.
Yeah. I mean, they're not. Tennessee doesn't have what it takes to. But you know what? We've said this in years past, and then Tennessee will get all the way to the AFC Championship, and they'll play tough, and they'll lose by 4.
Yeah, because
they're
you know,
confusing teams. Sometimes
Yeah.
they'll play like a Kansas City, and you'll just kind of write them off, and they'll be in it right to the wire. You know,
Mhm.
but other games, it's like who?
Yeah, what are they going to get out of Ryan Tannehill this year? And what are they going to get out of him in January is going to be the answer, right?
They don't have the quarterback to win it at the highest level. There's too many.
But they got
quarterbacks.
They got almost everything else, and they've got amazing quarterbacks in that fucking conference, and so they're just going to be outshined there.
Well, and what's interesting here is let's just think about it another way. Quarterback's the most important position in football, right? Clearly. Think about the top 10 fantasy quarterbacks. Think about the top 10 fantasy quarterbacks that we talked about. Pat Mahomes, AFC. Josh Allen, AFC. Joe Burrow, AFC. Deshaun Watson, AFC. Lamar Jackson, AFC. Justin Herbert, AFC. Tua, AFC. I mean, like, all
the golden god.
Besides
the gold god
Justin Fields and Jalen Hurts, the other 7 of the top 9 are always are all AFC. Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of wild, right? So that tells you all you need to know.
Like the 3rd or 4th best quarterback in the NFC is Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
He's pretty good,
talent, right?
He's pretty good.
The quarterback talent, though, is all in the AFC right now.
Yep.
And then you have Jalen Hurts, and you have Dak Prescott, and you have Kirk Cousins.
I can't wait for Jalen Hurts to come back to reality.
You're dreaming. He's going to be amazing.
Who?
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Fucking anomaly year.
I thought you were on that train now. Are you backtracking? Are you backing yourself off of that? Because you had finally turned around last year. You going to make him earn it again?
Yep. You heard it here first.
Yeah. All he had
Jalen
to do
Hurts, average.
All he had to do was be the quarterback 1 in scoring last year.
Look. Hey, well, fantasy. Well, okay. I'm taking not fantasy style. Still high on fantasy. Jalen Hurts. Still high on fantasy. Jalen Hurts. I'm talking actual quarterback play.
So all he had to do was win the conference and go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
play well.
They wouldn't have beat San Francisco if they had a quarterback.
How much do you think his fantasy value is affected by not being able to do that QB sneak bullshit?
A lot.
Well, you want to know
a lot of those happened on the 1 yard line.
Yeah, well, guess what? The man can squat 700 pounds.
Keeps their offense on the field like over and over again too. Like it's, you know what I'm saying? Like it just keeps a lot of drives going when it's third and 1.5.
Did we ever knock Tom Brady from not being a great quarterback because he was also great at sneaking the ball? It's a skill set.
They're going to change that rule. Is what we're saying, and they're not going to be able to do
pushing
that.
Pushing him.
Like the running back's getting behind him and shoving him forward.
Yeah, they're going to change that. They're going to change that rule because it's not competitive play.
But not this year.
Yeah.
All I'm saying. Jalen Hurts, baby. Arguably quarterback number 1 off the board.
Average.
All right. Well, who are we touching on next week? Who can the people look forward to hearing about?
What are we doing?
NFC. Yeah, well, it's not going to be the AFC.
Who do we want to save for last?
Well, we can't start with the absolute dud that is the South, so let's not do that. Maybe we go west. Maybe go west,
young man. All right.
Yeah, let's do that.
West. All right, let's do it. Now, one programming note that I should add for our kind listening audience of 3 is that I'm going to Virginia with my lovely lady Erica for family vacation on Sunday morning. I will bring my laptop with me. We'll see if I got coverage. This could be the 1 week that we have to give.
We don't have a week to give.
We have 1 week.
No, we already gave.
We already gave the week away for the 4th of July.
Well, let's give another one.
We can't.
Maybe we'll do a twofer. Maybe we'll do a 2 for 1 week.
Good luck talking me into that.
Maybe we'll do an hour.
If we could actually keep it to an hour for once, we could do 2 in 1 evening. It would only be about 2 hours. 2 hours.
Where we at right now?
An hour and a half. We're about 5 minutes shy of that.
Solid 90 minutes.
But we wasted 10 minutes talking all the nonsense.
And we always will. We will all the time.
That's the point.
It should be accounted for.
Hey, well, let's do a 3-hour podcast and just knock it all out in one.
Just go find a fucking Starbucks. How about that?
I'm gonna be at a lake in the middle of nowhere, man. I can't. But
They don't have Starbucks and lakes in the middle of nowhere in Virginia.
there might be
Well,
Wi-Fi at the house, and if there
There is an
we'll not.
option for the two of us to do it and get a if we need to.
Could do
That's
that.
true. I like seeing
Otherwise,
all
we
you
could-
guys though.
We're gonna mess out on all the Aaron Jones references though. I'm a little disappointed.
Hey,
Yeah, I don't want that.
Preseason's next week. I had to start repping early, baby. Let's go.
I love
We're
it.
still gonna win the North. Come on now.
When Aaron Jones doesn't make it out of the
Definitely
preseason without an injury, I'm gonna blame you.
You know,
Definitely not
when
winning.
the Packers win the North, I'm gonna.
Oh
flex
my
so hard.
god.
Knock it off with
Flex
that
so hard.
bullshit.
What is
It's hard to
this?
take you seriously when
Let's
you do things
go.
like that. I'm like,
They
Tucker
might
knows
get
what he's talking
last.
about.
They might get last.
You might be right, but you know what? You might be wrong. And you know what?
The song.
He
I
almost
might be
Billy
right.
Joel'd it. But it might be
I almost did, but I held myself back. I was.
you
this
may be
close.
right.
I may be crazy, but it might just be a lunatic the NFC North is looking for. Now, with that, folks, we'll sign off. We did the North. That was fun. Thanks for listening. Cut it. Another one in the books.
We did it.